It's exciting to see the group fitness room. Some of you are from Corvallis, some of you may not recognize it. Welcome to our Corvallis group fitness room. I'm gonna get my shoes off. We get to work on our project for the new squat rack. So Hannah's helping out with that. So it's just me today. We're gonna start in our comfortable seated position. Maybe I'll turn my mat like I normally do. Before we get started, I'm gonna mention it in the beginning and at the end of class. We were literally just about 20 minutes ago informed that our company, Health Fitness, the company that I work for, is giving us Monday off. And so there will not be yoga on Monday. Keep that in mind. You're welcome to watch replays. They're giving us an extra long weekend. So let's start to relax our eyes. Relax our breath. Keeping your eyes relaxed. Let's start to roll our neck side to side. I want you to keep those shoulders relaxed. Try to avoid shrugging your shoulders to your ears. You're welcome to take this neck roll into a full rotation, opening that chin, making sure you go in both directions here. Take your time to bring your head back to center. Let's take a few shoulder rolls going forward. Really try to focus on completing your shoulder rotations. So squeezing those shoulder blades behind you. Reversing the direction when you're ready. Let's go ahead and extend those legs out in front of us. Feet about in line with our hips. Take a deep breath in, bring those arms overhead. As you exhale, let's go ahead and release into that fold. If you need a yoga strap or a belt, you're welcome to use that. You can place your hands on your ankles or your feet as well. I want you to avoid looking up at your feet. Let's keep those chins in neutral spine or your necks in neutral spine. Slowly roll yourself back up. Sitting tall, placing those hands behind you for support. Let's take our right leg, crossing it over our left. Taking your left hand, to cross over. I want you to drive that elbow into your knee. Take that twist a little further, but avoid sinking here. Let's stay tall. Take your time to rotate back to center, taking that knee and hugging it into your chest, bringing it across your body. I want you to feel that stretch through your glutes here. Gently release. Let's uncross that leg. Shake it out if you need to. When you're ready, crossing that left foot over. Taking your right hand, pressing that elbow into your knee as you twist. Looking over that left shoulder. Again, avoid sinking, relaxing into the stretch. Stay tall here. Open your chest. Slowly rotating back to center, taking that knee, hugging it into your chest, bringing it across your body. Very gently release, place those hands beside you, extend those legs. This time we're gonna go back into our forward fold, but this time we're reaching for those toes, pulling your toes towards your shins. Again, if you have a yoga strap or something you wanna use to help reach for those toes, feel free to use those. Use that belt. Taking your time to roll back up. Let's go ahead and swing those feet behind us. Shifting over to all fours. Let me adjust my mic here. Taking your breaths and following as you bring it into that cat-cow. Feel free to take that movement slow and steady. Eventually exaggerating, making the movement bigger. As you exhale, let's shift back into neutral. And we're gonna rotate our hips so we're making a C, so it's almost like you're doing a side crunch. Bringing those hips in a half circle. Really try to keep those shoulders in the same spot. And what I mean by that is not shift forward and backwards. crunching here. Bring your hips back to center. Let's sit back into child's pose. Give those wrists a little bit of a warm up, whether it's rolling them out, maybe you're walking your hands side to side. Once you feel those wrists are nice and warm, let's shift back into our tabletops. Kick back with our right toe. Make sure those hips stay level here. We're gonna extend that leg, squeeze with the glutes here. We're gonna kick that leg out to the side and release. Keeping your leg extended, let's go ahead and sit back onto that heel. So I'm gonna show you from a different view. So that one leg's extended and we're sitting back on our heel with the other leg. Slow shift forward. Slow and controlled. Let's extend, lift that leg, extend behind, release with your toe, and then release with your knee. Let's go ahead and shift over to the other side. So we're gonna start by kicking behind us. Hips stay level. Squeezing with your glutes, extend that leg behind you. Slow and controlled, extend out to the side, release that foot, and sit back on your heel with that leg extended. Slow shift forward. Squeeze with the hips as you extend, lift, kick behind you, release your toe, and then your knee. You're gonna notice today is very hip focused. My glutes are sore from my workout on Monday. Tucking your toes under. We're gonna lift those knees up and hips back into that downward dog position. Drive your head through your spines. Let's try to push those hips back here. Feel free to take your time. Very slowly, we're gonna shift our weight forward, drive those hips through plank, down into your cobra. You're welcome to modify to your forearms in this cobra. I'm gonna stay here on my upward dog, so toes stay curled under, thighs stay off the floor. You know your modifications, whether you're in your cobra, your modified cobra, or you're here with a up dog with me. Whichever position you decided, I want you to raise those hips back up through plank, back into that downward dog. This time we're extending that right leg, three-legged dog. Toe points to the ceiling, hips stay square to the floor. Pointing your toe over to the opposite side, allowing your hips to stack here. I want you to avoid favoring one hand, one shoulder. Try to keep that weight distributed equally. Elbows are soft. extending that leg as you square your hips back to the floor. We're going to shift back into that plank, this time swinging that knee up through to our chest and gently releasing the outside of our thigh to our mat. So you can stay here with me with that leg extended behind you, sitting those hips onto your floor. Maybe you're on a blanket, or you can modify by tucking that knee or that heel to your glute behind you. Whichever position you decide, I want your hips to stay facing forward and release down to those forearms for a deeper stretch. Take your time to press yourself back up here. All right, so I have a new challenge for you. If your leg is extended behind you, if you have a yoga strap, you can use that. You can reach for that foot behind you. This is an extremely challenging pose. So the closer your heel is to your body, the more modified the version is. So if your heel is further away, takes it a little bit further. If you are able to reach for that foot, can you hug it into your elbow? Maybe take your hand away, reach for your hand. I know you like these challenges. This is an extremely hard challenge for a lot of you. If you can do it, let me know. Send me a picture. Go on a beautiful hike this weekend. Find a pretty place to do it. Take a picture of your new pose. Very gently release if you did decide to try it out. Placing your hands out in front of you, hips are rotated to the front. Tuck that back toe under as you lift your hips and knee off the floor. Kick back into that three-legged dog. Gently release your foot here, down to the mat in your downward dog. Again, we're gonna shift our hips down through the floor into either your upward dog, your cobra, or your modified cobra. So the difference here is upward dog, toes are curled under, thighs are off the floor. Cobra, released. Modified cobra, you're on your forearms. In whichever position you chose, I want you to lift those hips through plank, push them back into that downward dog. This time taking that left foot away, raising into that three-legged dog. Allowing your hips to stack as you point that toe over to the opposite wall. Squaring our hips back to the floor, extending that leg, swinging our knee up through to our chest. Hips shift forward slightly, releasing here at the bottom. Optional, you can keep that leg extended, or you can tuck that knee behind you or tuck that heel behind you into almost like a zigzag. Again, the closer your heel is to your body, the more modified the position, the further out, the harder it gets. Hips facing forward as you release to those forearms. Slowly pressing ourselves back up. All right, we're gonna have that challenge on the other side. It's completely optional. If your leg is extended, you can use a belt or a yoga strap, wrap it around that ankle, try to bring it up. If you do have it up, and you can tuck that foot into your forearm or the crease in your forearm. Maybe even reach behind your head, link your fingers together. Very gently release. Rotate those hips back to front. Hands are placed on the floor. Tuck your toe under. We're gonna lift our hips and our knee off the mat and kick back into that three-legged dog. Releasing that foot. Both feet on the floor. One more time, we're gonna shift our weight through plank down into the option of your choice, upward dog, cobra, or modified cobra. I'm gonna release here because this time I'm waving my hips through tabletops back into child's pose. Take your time to bring those hands below your shoulders. Use them to press yourself up. And let's scoot back onto our glutes. Bring those feet forward. We're going to release down to the floor here with or without using your hands for support. Taking one knee, hugging it into your chest, extending the opposite heel out in front of you. I will have to cut a few minutes off the end of our class today just because I'm on site, as you can see, working on our project. But we are going to finish with these hips. Let's extend that leg, placing your hand behind your thigh, your calf, or your ankle. Keeping both hips pressed to the floor, let's allow that leg to open out to the side. You can choose to keep your leg extended, or you can tuck that knee back into your chest before allowing that knee to open. Bringing our leg back to center, tucking our knee into our chest. Let's place that foot on the floor and switch over to the other side. Let's start with that knee tucked into our chest. Extend our heel out in front of you. Extending our leg, reaching from under our thigh, our calf, or maybe even our ankle. Allowing our leg to open out to the side, hips stay flat on the floor here. Bringing your leg back to center. Tuck your knee into your chest. Let's place that foot on the floor and extend your heels out in front of you. Placing your hands by your sides, palm facing up. Relaxing your eyes. I want you to focus on your breath. Exaggerate the movement through your chest as you inhale. Relax as you exhale. Continue your deep breaths. Avoiding cutting your inhale short. Keeping your eyes relaxed. Let's start to add movement through our body here. Eventually sliding those feet flat to the floor. And allowing those knees to fall over to one side. Taking a few moments to open your eyes. And press yourself into the comfortable seated position that we started in. see something in the chat box. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Let's finish with our deep breaths. Inhale, bring those arms overhead. Exhale, arms to your sides. Deep breath in overhead. And exhale. We have one more. Our hands come together into prayer, lowering our hands to heart. Namaste. Thank you again for joining. I apologize for having to cut it a little bit short. I am lucky enough to get to renovate the Corvallis Fitness Center, so we're taking advantage of this time. Just a reminder, Health Fitness, which is the company that I work for, is giving us Monday off. And they literally just told us 20 minutes before this class. So we will not have class on Monday, but feel free to take a look at the replays, watch a replay, and I will be back on Wednesday. If you have questions or concerns, let me know. Have a good long weekend, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.